Welcome, everyone. Today I want to tell you something that might hurt a little, but it's the truth that will set your life on fire. Most people are waiting for motivation, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for someone to inspire them, waiting for some magical day when they'll feel ready. But let me tell you something very honestly. That day is not coming. No one is coming to motivate you. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to push you out of bed. It's always going to be you versus you. If you don't push yourself, you will stay stuck. You will stay small. You will die with your dreams still inside you. And the most painful part? You will have to live with the regret that you had the time, you had the chance, you had the potential. But you didn't move because you were waiting for motivation. So this video is not a normal motivational video. This is your turning point. You're going to learn 12 of the most powerful, practical, and psychological techniques to build self-motivation. The kind of motivation that doesn't die when life gets hard. The kind of motivation that wakes you up without an alarm. The kind that builds discipline, success, and unshakable power inside you. You're not just watching this video for inspiration. You're here to train your mind to become the kind of person who never gives up. And yes, as you listen to this, you're also improving your English. So this video will transform your mind and your language. Together. Now let's begin. Technique 1. Find your pain. That's your fuel. Most people think motivation comes from watching a happy video or reading a quote on Instagram. That's not motivation. That's just a spark, and it dies in 5 minutes. Real motivation is born from pain. Let me say that again. Real motivation is born from pain. If you don't feel hungry, if you don't feel the fire, if you don't feel desperate to change, you will never move. You need to stop running from your pain and start using it as fuel. Imagine, he was 16. He stood up in class to give a presentation in English. His hands were shaking. His voice was weak, and the moment he opened his mouth, everyone started laughing. His pronunciation was broken. He couldn't form full sentences. Even the teacher was trying not to smile. He sat down, humiliated, and for 2 weeks, he didn't come to school. Now, here's what most people would do. Cry, complain, quit. But this boy, he made a decision that day. He looked in the mirror and said, "I will never feel this pain again. I will become the best English speaker in this country. I don't care how hard it is. I will not stop until I win." He took his pain and made it his fuel. He turned his shame into strength. He studied 4 hours a day. He practiced speaking alone in the mirror. He started watching videos, shadowing speeches, reading out loud every day. 3 years later, that same boy stood on a stage, spoke in perfect English, and gave a TEDx talk in front of 1,000 people. Nobody laughed. They gave him a standing ovation. His name? Doesn't matter, because that boy could be you. I want you to pause for a moment. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what is my pain? What am I running from? What failure am I afraid to look at? What moment in my life made me feel so broken, so lost, so weak, that I never want to feel that way again? Find it, because that is your fuel. Let your pain speak. Let your pain wake you up. Let your pain tell you, never again. I will never live like this again. I will fight. I will rise. I will change. This is where self-motivation begins. Not with goals, not with dreams, but with deep truth. Every morning, I want you to write this line. I will never go back to the old version of me. Then below it, write 3 painful memories that you want to never experience again. And then say out loud, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I won't give up. This is my fire. Say it every single day. Let your pain become your reason, not your excuse. Technique 2. Decide who you want to be and become obsessed. Most people set goals, but very few people change their identity. And that's why they fail. Listen closely. If you want permanent motivation, you must become a new person in your mind first. You don't just want to exercise more. You want to become a healthy person. You don't just want to wake up early. You want to become a disciplined person. You don't just want to learn English. You want to become a fluent English speaker. In your identity, in your daily habits, in your thinking. Because here's the truth. You will always return to who you believe you are. If you say, I'm lazy, I can't focus, I'm not consistent, I give up easily, then no matter how hard you try, you will always sabotage your progress, because deep inside, your identity is still the same. But when you decide, I am a warrior, I am disciplined, I am someone who never quits, I am a man, woman of fire, and I don't wait for motivation, then you start living that truth, even when you don't feel motivated, even when you're tired, even when life gets hard, because you don't try to act strong. You are strong. Let me take you back to the boy we talked about in Technique 1. After he found his pain, he didn't just say, I want to learn English. He went in front of the mirror every single morning, looked himself in the eye, and said, I am the best speaker in this country. I don't care how I sound today. That's not who I am. I am the version of me that speaks with power, clarity, and confidence. He said it even when it felt like a lie, even when he still sounded broken, even when the mirror laughed back at him. But guess what? After 30 days, he started believing it. After 60 days, he started living it. After 90 days, he started becoming it. And today, he doesn't have to say it anymore, because it's who he is now. Pause right now, take a deep breath, and write this sentence for yourself. I am the kind of person who, for example, I am the kind of person who keeps promises to myself. I am the kind of person who wakes up early and does the hard work. I am the kind of person who speaks English with confidence every day. Now put that sentence on your wall. Say it every morning. Look in the mirror and repeat it, even when you don't feel it. Because the secret is, you don't fake it until you make it. You fake it until you become it. That's how real transformation begins. Choose your identity sentence. Say it 3 times every morning in the mirror. Act like it's already true, even when it feels uncomfortable. Repeat every day for 30 days. No excuses, no breaks. Why? Because motivation comes from alignment. When your actions match your identity, this technique will slowly change how you see yourself. And when that changes, your life will never be the same again. You found your pain. That's your fire. You've chosen your identity. That's your direction. Technique 3. Do it even when you don't feel like it. Discipline over feelings. You're not always going to feel like it. And if you only take action when you feel motivated, you will lose to the person who takes action no matter what. This is where most people break. They wake up feeling tired and say, not today. They come home feeling lazy and say, I'll do it tomorrow. They start a new habit, but once the excitement dies, so do they. But the real winners, they show up on the worst days. They work when no one's watching. They move when it's hard. They stay consistent when motivation is dead. That's called discipline. And discipline is stronger than motivation. Let me take you again to our boy's story. Every morning, he had to wake up at 5 a.m. to study before school. It was winter, no heater, no comfort, just cold air and heavy silence. Every cell in his body screamed, "Sleep more, you deserve rest, do it later." But he remembered his pain. He remembered the laughter. He remembered the identity he was building. And he got up anyway. Not because he felt like it, but because he had made a decision. I don't listen to my feelings. I follow my standards. That decision, it changed his life. The next time you say, "I don't feel like exercising. I don't feel like studying. I don't feel like speaking English today," tell yourself this: good. This is the perfect time to do it. Because now, I'm training my mind to be stronger than my feelings. This is where the real growth happens. Not when it's easy, not when it's fun, but when it's hard. And you do it anyway. Here's your challenge. Choose one thing you've been putting off. Do it right now, even if you don't feel ready. At the end, write this in your journal. I did it without motivation. I am powerful. Repeat this every day. This technique builds mental muscles that most people never develop. Every time you take action when it's hard, you are telling your brain, I am in control. Not my mood, not my laziness, not my excuses, me. And that is real self-motivation. Technique 4. Repeat one line every day and let it become your reality. Most people wake up and allow their mind to run freely, thinking whatever it wants, feeling however it wants, focusing on whatever appears in front of them. That is not a powerful life. That is a reactive life. If you want real self-motivation, you must learn how to take control of your thoughts the moment you wake up. And the simplest, fastest, most powerful way to do that is by repeating one powerful sentence every single day. Just one sentence, one line, one command. But it must be short, powerful, emotionally honest, designed to remind you of who you want to be. Why? Because your brain listens to repetition. Whatever you repeat, good or bad, becomes your belief. And whatever becomes your belief becomes your behavior. Your brain has something called the reticular activating system, RAS. It's the part of your brain that filters what you notice and what you ignore. So if you constantly tell yourself, I'm lazy, I can't do this, I'm too old, I'm not good enough, your RAS will start looking for proof of that. It will say, yes, you are lazy. Yes, you don't finish anything. Yes, you're not good enough. Let's not try. And your motivation dies. But if you wake up and reprogram your RAS with a different line, one that is strong, deliberate, and aligned with your highest self, you start to focus on solutions instead of excuses, action instead of delay, growth instead of fear. That's the power of one sentence, said every day, until it becomes your default operating system. Here are examples of what your one sentence could be. Choose one that feels true for your situation. No one is coming. It's on me. I do hard things every day. I move, even when I don't feel ready. Comfort is my enemy. Progress is my goal. I am not my past. I am my next action. This is the year I change everything. I don't wait for motivation. I act like a machine. Each day I stay lazy. Someone else becomes great. I was not born to live small. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours. Pick one or create your own. Now let's talk about the exact process to use this. Because it's not just about repeating words. It's about programming a new mindset into your nervous system. Choose your sentence. Take 5 minutes right now. Choose the one line that hits your heart the most. Write it down on paper. Repeat it immediately after waking up. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, before touching your phone, sit up, take a deep breath, and say your line out loud 3 times. Repeat it again before your hardest task. Right before going to the gym, or studying or working. Say it again. Let your body feel it. Let your voice become stronger with it. Repeat it again before sleep. Say it one last time before you go to bed. Because your last thought programs your subconscious while you sleep. Here's what happens after 7 days. Your motivation becomes automatic. You don't negotiate with laziness. You override it. You stop waiting for the right time. You just act. After 30 days, you become unrecognizable. You wake up with purpose. You think faster. You take action faster. You move like a person with a mission. People around you will start saying, "What happened to you?" And the answer will be simple. I rewired my brain. One sentence at a time. This is not magic. This is mental engineering. And it works. If you do it. Technique 5. Make it public. Burn the bridge. Do you know what's stronger than willpower? Pressure. Most people fail to stay motivated because they give themselves an escape plan. They say, "I'll try to do this. I'll see how I feel tomorrow. If it doesn't work, I'll stop. No one knows I'm doing this anyway." And because no one knows, they can quit silently. They can fail secretly. They can give up quietly, without any consequence. This is the #1 killer of motivation. Lack of public accountability. If you want to create motivation that doesn't die, you must create stakes. You must burn the bridge. You must put yourself in a situation where you cannot go back. Imagine a warrior army landing on enemy shores, and their leader burns the boats they came in. Now there is no way to return home. No escape. Only one option. Win or die. This creates maximum focus, maximum intensity, and maximum energy. In your life, you must do the same, mentally and socially. How? Let's break it down. Choose one clear commitment. Don't just say, "I want to change." Be specific, like, "I will speak English every single day for 90 days. I will lose 5 kilograms in 60 days. I will publish my first video this month. I will wake up at 5 a.m. for the next 30 days. Make it public. Post it on social media. Tell your closest friends. Tell your family. Write it on a poster and put it on your wall. Make it visible. Because when other people know, you create external pressure. Now your brain says, "I can't fail silently. I've already declared my mission. If I stop now, I lose my self-respect." And that's when your drive becomes unshakable. Set a consequence. This step is extremely powerful. Decide on a real consequence if you fail. For example, if I skip my goal, I will give $100 to a cause I hate. If I break my 30-day challenge, I will delete my favorite app. If I miss a day, I will write a post about why I failed. When the pain of failure becomes visible, you become unstoppable. Because now you have pressure, consequence, and purpose. Not just wishful thinking. Humans are wired to avoid pain. And one of the biggest pains we fear is public failure and losing face. So when you make your goal public, your brain enters battle mode. It says, "I must not lose. I must stay focused. I must finish." Now you don't need motivation. You have commitment backed by social energy. That's 10 times stronger. When you start showing your goals to others, you shift from private dreaming to public transformation. You stop hiding. You step into the arena. You become a warrior. You become someone people watch and respect. And your own self-respect goes through the roof. This is not about ego. It's about building real fire inside you. Because when the world is watching, you have two choices: rise or run. And when you choose to rise, that's where the real you is born. Technique 6. Visualize the reward and the regret every single day. Let me ask you a question. Do you know why most people give up on their goals? Because they can't see the reward, and they can't feel the regret. The human brain is designed to focus on what is immediate, not what is long-term. This is a mental trap that kills motivation. You say, "I'll go to the gym later. I'll study tomorrow. One day I'll change my life." But because the pain of not doing it is invisible, you feel no urgency. And because the reward is not clear, you feel no hunger. That's where visualization becomes your secret weapon. When I say visualize, I don't mean sitting like a monk and dreaming of a mansion. I'm talking about a daily mental practice, where you sit with yourself for 5 minutes and do two things. You see the reward of staying consistent. You feel the regret of quitting your goal. You do it with intensity, clarity, and emotion. This is not imagination. This is mental rehearsal. This process should be done every morning right after you wake up and every night before sleep. See the reward. Close your eyes. Now visualize, with total clarity, the version of yourself that you want to become 90 days from now. What does your body look like after 90 days of workouts? What does your mind sound like after 90 days of discipline? What does your confidence feel like after 90 days of speaking English every day? What does your life look like after 90 days of action? Feel it. Breathe it. Walk in that body. Smile with that face. Stand tall in that posture. Let your brain feel the reward before it happens. Why? Because your brain doesn't know the difference between imagined and real experiences. If you can feel the reward now, your brain will push you to earn it. Feel the regret. Now do the opposite. Visualize what happens if you give up today. If you skip again. If you fall into comfort. If you lie to yourself again. What happens to your health? What happens to your future? What happens to your dream? What happens to your self-respect? Imagine waking up 90 days later, and nothing has changed. Same fear, same failure, same life. Now feel the pain of regret. Sit in it. Let it hit you. Why? Because most people only move when the pain becomes too strong. By visualizing regret, you make the pain visible now, not later. And that keeps you alive, awake, moving. Your mind is programmed by emotion, not information. You already know you should work out. You already know you should study. But knowing is not enough. You must feel the reasons. Emotion is what creates motivation. And the fastest way to create emotion is through mental imagery, seeing, hearing, and feeling the future. By practicing this visualization every day, you are training your brain to move toward pleasure, training your body to run away from regret, building a clear, strong, emotional connection with your goal. And the result? You no longer need to force yourself. Your mind is already on fire. Create 2 90-second visualizations, one for reward, one for regret. Practice it for 5 minutes every morning and 5 minutes every night. Add music if it helps you feel more emotion. Do it for 30 days straight, no matter what. If you do this, something incredible happens. You stop chasing motivation, and motivation starts chasing you. That's power. Technique 7. Give yourself small wins. Every single day. Do you want to know the biggest reason people lose motivation? Because they work hard, they try, they struggle, but they can't see progress. And when the brain can't see progress, it stops caring. That's why most people quit the gym, stop learning English, or drop their dreams. Not because they don't want it, but because they don't feel the reward. That's why this technique is life-changing. You must track small wins every single day. Your brain is powered by a chemical called dopamine. It's a reward chemical. It tells your brain, yes, this action was good. Do it again. Now here's the problem. If you only give yourself dopamine when you finish a big goal, like losing 10 kilograms or speaking fluent English, it takes too long, and your brain gets bored. It says, no result, stop trying. But if you create small daily goals and celebrate them, you give your brain a constant supply of dopamine. This makes motivation addictive. It keeps you moving forward, like a game with points. A small win is any action that proves you're getting better. Here are examples. Woke up without hitting snooze? That's a win. Practiced English speaking for 5 minutes? Win. Chose healthy food instead of junk? Win. Read 2 pages of a book? Win. Wrote your goal on paper? Win. Did the thing even when you were tired? Massive win. Each of these wins tells your brain, you're becoming the person you said you would become. And that message, that's what builds motivation from the inside. Every night before sleeping, write down 3 answers. 1. What did I do today that made me proud? 2. What small win showed me I'm improving? 3. What will I do tomorrow to win again? That's it. 3 minutes. Every night. And in 30 days, you will have a record of 90 victories. This becomes your emotional proof that you're not lazy, you're not stuck, you're not failing, you're just improving quietly, daily, powerfully. Motivation is not just a feeling, it is the result of progress. When your brain sees proof, it builds belief, and belief creates power. That's why tracking your wins is not a feel-good habit. It is a psychological necessity. If you're not recording wins, your brain forgets them. And when it forgets, it doubts you. And when it doubts you, you stop trying. But if you record every win, your confidence compounds. Your fire grows stronger. And your mind starts to say, I don't need proof from others. I already have my own. That's motivation that can't be broken. Technique 8. Feed your mind with power. Every day. Let me ask you a serious question. What do you feed your brain every single day? Because what you feed your mind becomes your mindset. And your mindset becomes your motivation. And your motivation becomes your behavior. And your behavior becomes your life. If you're not feeding your mind with power, confidence, clarity, and growth, you're feeding it with confusion, fear, distraction, and doubt. And here's the hard truth. Most people are consuming more mental junk food than real brain fuel. They scroll for hours on social media, watching people who complain, criticize, gossip, or pretend. They read news that fills their brain with fear, negativity, or division. They follow people who show fake success and never show the work. They listen to songs filled with hopelessness, toxic relationships, or violence. And then they wonder, why am I not motivated? Why do I feel anxious? Why do I compare myself all the time? Why don't I feel excited to grow? The answer is simple. Because your mind is being poisoned. quietly, every day. Imagine trying to build a strong body. But every day, you eat junk food. No matter how many push-ups you do, your body will break down. The same is true for your mind. If your mental diet is full of noise, drama, gossip, fear, and distraction, your mind will get weaker. Your focus will disappear, and your motivation will slowly die without you even noticing. To become deeply self-motivated, you need to design your daily mental environment like a warrior. Here is what it must include. Motivational voices every day. Listen to 15 minutes of pure, raw motivation daily. Not for entertainment, not for background noise. You listen with focus, like a warrior sharpening his sword. What to listen to? Motivational speeches, goal-setting content, success psychology, stories of people who overcame pain and built greatness. These voices should make you feel urgency, discipline, belief, action. Because motivation is not just a feeling, it's a frequency, and you must tune your brain to it daily. Educational growth content. Spend at least 20 minutes learning something that improves your skill. Language, business, health, finance, speaking, reading, anything that grows you. Growth equals energy. When your brain feels like it's getting stronger, it sends signals to your body. Keep going. We are leveling up. This creates inner fire, not just external pressure. Mental fasting from negativity. This is just as important. You must protect your brain from what destroys it. No comparison content, no gossip pages, no toxic influencers, no mindless scrolling, no music that kills your emotions or encourages laziness. You wouldn't drink poison just because the bottle looks pretty. So don't consume content just because it's viral. Protect your mental immune system. The first hour after waking up is the most powerful programming window of your entire day. Why? Because your brain is still in alpha wave mode, highly absorbent, sensitive, and programmable. If you open your phone and see someone else's body, success, lifestyle, your mind immediately goes into comparison and insecurity mode. But if you open your day with a motivational voice, a visualization, a piece of learning, a written reminder of your goals, your mind goes into ownership and power mode. So the rule is simple. Don't touch trash before touching power. Create a mental gym, just like a physical gym. Train your brain to grow every single day. Technique 10. Train at the same time. Every day. Let me explain. The most motivated people in the world do the same things at the same time every day. They don't wait for the right feeling. They don't wait for inspiration. They follow a time-based ritual. Why? Because the brain and body love consistency. When you do something every day at the same time, it becomes automatic. It becomes harder to skip than to do it. This is where most people fail. They confuse motivation with mood. They say, I'll study when I feel fresh. I'll work out after I rest. I'll practice English in the evening maybe. And guess what? Evening never comes. Motivation never comes. Growth never comes. Imagine you brush your teeth every morning. You don't feel motivated to do it, you just do it. Why? Because it's a habit, connected to a fixed time, not a feeling. That's how you must build your motivational habits. Examples. Speak English at 7 a.m. every day. Walk or stretch your body at 6:30 a.m. daily. Write your goals at 7:30 a.m. after breakfast. Do deep work at 8 a.m. sharp. No distractions. Repeat your one motivational sentence at 9 p.m. daily. Visualize reward and regret before sleep at 10 p.m. When you repeat this timing, your brain starts expecting it. Your body gets used to it. It becomes part of your identity. And that's when motivation becomes effortless. Your brain builds neural pathways for repeated behaviors. The more you do something at the same time, the stronger that connection becomes. Eventually, your brain says, "This is who we are. This is what we do." There is no debate. You stop thinking. You just start moving. That's when you become dangerous. That's when motivation is no longer required. Only execution remains. Choose your 3 most important self-motivation habits. Pick the 3 actions that move your life forward the most. Examples: studying, speaking English, working out, reading, planning, creating content, practicing discipline, cold shower, journaling, etc. Assign a fixed time to each habit. Do not be flexible. Don't say morning. Say 6:30 a.m. Don't say evening. Say 9:15 p.m. Build an environment trigger. Connect your action to a place or event. After brushing, I read my goals. After my tea, I speak English for 15 minutes. After work, I stretch for 10 minutes. Before sleep, I visualize and write my wins. Your body learns these patterns fast. It becomes natural. You no longer need energy, just presence. Repeat for 21 to 30 days, without exception. At first, it will be hard. But after a few weeks, it becomes identity. Now you don't say, "I have to motivate myself to study." You say, "It's 7 a.m. This is what I do. Let's go." Discipline at a fixed time creates momentum, and momentum is stronger than motivation. When your body moves at the same hour, when your brain enters focus mode automatically, when you no longer wait for feelings, you become unstoppable. This is not about being perfect. It's about being predictable. Predictability equals power. Now we move to the next advanced technique. Technique 11. Track your progress weekly, the accountability mirror. Let me ask you a tough question. When was the last time you reviewed your week? Not just looked at your to-do list, but actually sat down and asked, what did I win at? What did I fail at? What must I change this week? If you're not doing this, you are blind to your growth. And if you can't see your growth, you will feel stuck. And if you feel stuck, your motivation will collapse. Slowly, quietly. That's why this technique is not optional. It is your weekly mirror of truth. Self-motivated people do something average people never do. They don't just work hard. They measure, reflect, and adjust. They treat their life like a project, like a machine, like a mission. They ask, what worked? What didn't? What will I do differently next week? This process creates clarity, direction, ownership, improvement, and emotional power. Because nothing motivates you more than knowing, I'm moving forward, even if slowly. I'm winning. Once a week, preferably Sunday evening or Monday morning, sit down for 20 minutes and answer these 7 questions. What were my 3 biggest wins this week? Focus on action, not outcome. Celebrate consistency, effort, and mindset shifts. What did I struggle with or avoid? Be honest, no judgment. This is about awareness, not guilt. What drained my energy this week? Was it people, habits, distractions, thoughts? Identify and reduce them. What gave me the most motivation or clarity? Which habit, person, video, or activity made you feel powerful? Did I stick to my daily routines and time-based rituals? Yes or no? Why or why not? What is one lesson I learned this week? Success or failure? Both teach you something. Write it. What's my number 1 commitment for next week? Pick one thing. Go all in on it. Motivation dies when life feels chaotic. This weekly review gives you structure, control, vision, feedback, self-respect. And self-respect is the root of motivation. When you start holding yourself accountable, you stop expecting others to push you. You stop waiting for luck. You stop depending on outside rewards. You become your own coach, your own mirror, your own leader. Buy a simple notebook or create a digital template. Use it only for your weekly check-ins. Keep it clean, focused, and honest. After 4 weeks, read it. You'll be shocked at your progress. You'll feel inspired by your own words. You'll build a deep belief in yourself. That belief, that's your new engine of motivation. You don't grow by guessing. You grow by tracking. You grow by reviewing. You grow by learning. When you look in the accountability mirror every week, you stay in control of your evolution, and that control becomes your confidence, and that confidence becomes your motivation system for life. Technique 12. Have a strong why that makes you cry. There is one force more powerful than motivation, more powerful than habits, more powerful than discipline, even more powerful than pain. That force is your why. Not a surface-level why. Not a because I want to look good why. Not a because I want more money why. I'm talking about a deep reason. A reason so emotional, so real, so personal, that every time you think about quitting, you feel it in your chest. That's what keeps people going. That's what makes a person rise when everything is broken. That's what turns a human into a warrior. Your why is your ultimate power source. Here's a simple test. Say your reason out loud. If it makes you feel nothing, it's too weak. If it sounds like, I want to lose weight to look better. I want to speak English to impress people. I want more money to buy more stuff. That's not strong enough. But if your reason sounds like, I want to be healthy so I can take care of my parents once they get older. I want to speak English because I'm tired of being silent when I want to express my heart. I want to succeed because I never want my future child to go through what I went through. I want to break this cycle of poverty, fear, and pain in my family, and it ends with me. Now that's real. That's alive. That's powerful. You know your why is strong when it brings emotion to your eyes, tightness in your chest, fire in your soul. Take a pen and answer the following questions honestly. What is something in your life that you never want to feel again? Was it shame, failure, disrespect, feeling powerless? This is your pain trigger, your first layer of fuel. Who are you doing this for, besides yourself? Think about your family, your future, your inner child, someone who believes in you, someone who doubted you. When you include someone else in your why, your motivation becomes selfless, unshakable. If you don't take action, what will your life look like in 5 years? Visualize the regret. Feel the pain of quitting. This will sharpen your urgency. If you become the best version of yourself, what will change forever? Feel the impact. See the results. This will elevate your purpose. Now combine your answers into a single, powerful statement. This is what you say to yourself when everything gets dark. This is what you whisper in your heart when the world gives you reasons to stop. Say it daily. Put it on your wall. Write it on your mirror. Carry it in your wallet. Read it when you're tired. Repeat it when you're weak. Let it remind you, you are not just doing this for today. You are doing this for something bigger. Without a strong why, you will break under pressure. You will stop when no one is watching. You will fall for short-term pleasure over long-term purpose. But with a strong why, you will rise even when no one claps. You will move even when your body says no. you will carry the weight of your future with pride. You will become the version of yourself that no one thought you could be. This is not theory. This is the engine behind every life that changes the world. Now you know the truth. Self-motivation is not something you find. It's something you build. These are not tips. These are not theories. These are life weapons. Use them. Start today. Because if you wait for motivation, you will stay stuck forever. But if you take control of your habits, your thoughts, your time, and your why, there is no force on earth that can stop you. Your future is watching, your dream is waiting, and your time is now. Whatever happens, don't give up, don't slow down, don't forget your why, and always trust God. Now go, build yourself. And if this video helped you, subscribe for more powerful content that doesn't just inspire you. It helps you transform your life, step by step. This is your family now. This is your mission. And we rise together. Trust God, stay strong, and subscribe.